Hello traders, welcome back to another backtesting session. Exciting today, we continue in the Forex market, right? I got a lot of feedback or requests that I should maintain the Forex market. So we sideline the future market for a minute. We are riding now with the Forex market. So I just want to make sure I guide those are in need of it to show you how the GxT model can be applied in the Forex market. And if you notice anything that I do use on the chart, any of these sequences that you do not fully understand, my narrative, how I frame my trades, and you want me to elaborate or expand on any concept, please let me know in the comment section and I'll do my best to make a video on that to explain everything in depth. And just to plead with you, as you may or may not have noticed, the channel is still very small and I'd like to grow it. So please do me a favor, share, subscribe if you haven't, and give me a like, and do leave your feedback as they help or guide me to make future videos. So without any further ado, let's go right into it. And before we get into that, this session we already created in the previous video and we took 4 trades. I'm not going to create a new session today, so I'm just going to continue with this session till infinity. I'm just going to give you what you want. You asked for it, right? The Forex market, and here we are. So we ride in, bro. So I think our last trade was something we took on the 5 minute. I don't know where is this coming from. I think our last trade was something we took on 5 minute. Yeah, this it, and it was actually a loss, whatever. And there were reasons for that. We just had to force that trade and we took a loss. So for anyone watching this video that hasn't gone through the previous video, I would like to just take this back a little bit so you understand what we'll be looking for this week, so you keep yourself updated, right? So don't want to leave anyone behind. So right now we're on the chart and currently in the 1 week weekly time frame. And where are we on the chart? We have just engaged with this high or this low on Euro USD. As you can see, we engaged with this swing low, which is a relevant swing, and we did not reverse from it. So we did not manipulate that low. We just traded into it, and rather we retraced it back into the fair value gap and traded through it, meaning GBP USD, who is a weaker asset or lacking asset, can catch up to this low or potentially this low here. And as you can see, DXY is also strong like Euro USD, so they are the stronger pair, while GBP USD is a weaker pair. So we are looking forward for GBP USD to switch strength to become the stronger pair this week to catch up to this low, potentially reaching for this low. So going into the daily time frame, we are currently on Wednesday and we already traded this day in the previous video, so we are not going to pay attention to what this day is doing anymore as it is already exhausted. So I'm gonna next to London. I think I set this London to be starting at 1:30. I'm going to put it at 2, so it should start at 2, and I'm just gonna fast forward the candle from 1:30. Let the 30-minute candle close. Okay, so prior to 2, what can we notice? Prior to 2 a.m. we already hit our draw on liquidity, which is the swing point, right? Remember that swing point we want GBP USD to catch up to. It has already traded there prior to London, so it traded into that key level in Asia session, which I personally do not trade, but if anyone trade Asia session, this trade was very good to be taken. We could have taken it, because what do we have here? Looking at the Euro USD, we have a fair value gap, which is a key level. And do we have an SMT in that fair value gap? Yes, we do have an SMT. You can see that this candle, the 1300 candle, traded into this fair value gap on Euro USD, and on GBP USD we did not trade into that level. And I think on DXY, yeah, we didn't trade into that key level too. So we have an SMT on DXY and also a strength switch. You can see that DXY at this point in time was stronger, but prior to London session or the 2200 candle switch strength to become weaker. So we're strong here. Now we switch strength to become the weaker pair. So there is a strength switch here, which can be a trigger for a reversal. It has already triggered a reversal into this relevant swing. You see that? So we have a two-stage SMT at this reversal point, which is very good to see. Very satisfying. So right now, GBP USD has already traded into this swing low. So what do I want to see? I want to see Euro USD or DXY catch up to this high, right? Why Euro USD is traded into this low? I want to see DXY trade into this high. Why? Because DXY is negatively correlated to GBP USD and Euro USD. So this high is actually this low here. So I'm going to drop down to the 1 hour time frame. What am I looking for in the 1 hour time frame? I'm looking for key level within the previous 4-hour candle, which is the 2100 candle, right? So I'm going to look for a swing point or a fair value gap within the 2100 candle, because we are currently trading the 1 a.m. candle, which is the London 4-hour candle. So we need to look for key level within the 2100 candle, or if the London candle has already expanded, then we should look for a key level within that expansion leg in order to continue to draw on liquidity, right? So what are we seeing here? After this trend switch, did we have any other SMT? I think we have a key level here with this fair value gap. And is there any SMT with that? Yes, we do have an SMT. You can see this 12 a.m. candle traded into this fair value gap with the Euro USD, while GBP USD will fail to trade into that level. You can see that. And on DXY, I think we have also an SMT there. So we can see we have a strength switch. DXY at this point was weaker. Now it has switched strength to become the stronger pair. So to catch up to this high here, and GBP USD has already traded to this high. So I want to see DXY trade into this high because it has switched strength. And why it is doing that, I also want to see Euro USD, which is the weaker pair in this triad now, to also navigate towards this low. But I'm not confident that Euro USD would take this low in London. It might be doing that in New York session. So let's see what happens. I want to see if I'll get any continuation signature to trade Euro USD into this low or potentially this level, right? Or I can take a trade. If I get filled at any level here, then I can close the position once the XY trade into this high. So that's what I'm looking at. So I'm dropping down to the 30-minute time frame. Do I have any SMT with a key level? Yes, I do have an SMT here with this fair value gap. So Euro USD is not switching any strength at any level, right? We are not switching strength. Euro USD is staying as the stronger pair, while GBP USD maintain weakness and DXY at this point maintains strength. So we have an SMT with this fair value gap, and the C2 on GBP USD already traded into the draw on liquidity, into the swing point, the sell side liquidity. So I'm looking forward for this asset, which is Euro USD, to catch up to that low, while DXY also catch up to that high, right? So I'm dropping down the 15-minute. Yes, we have this. So you can either take a trade right here. If we CSD this up close candle, I can take a trade from here, or I can drop down to the 5-minute and look for a CSD. We have one here already, but since this is the 2 a.m. candle, 4-hour candle opening, and More to that, Euro USD is the weaker pair in this triad. There might be a deeper retracement taking this high to form maybe a strength switch or a two-stage SMT. So I'm going to wait to see what the early candles of this 2 a.m. for our this London candle is going to be like. So I need to wait to see. I'm seeking for more confirmation before I can take a trade from here on this asset, right? Because I know that Euro USD is a weaker asset. As you can see here, GBP USD is just ripping, trading lower because it is a stronger pair, and DXY has just done a shallow retracement back into this fair value gap, and right now is CSD to trade higher. So I want to see if Euro USD will present any opportunity for me to get in to trade into this candle or potentially this low. We do have a CSD here. We have it right here. And does that form from any key level or confirm with any SMT? No, we don't have any SMT there, but we do have a PSB. A PSB also is can be a trigger for expansion, for continuation into this low or potentially this high, right? As you can see here, this 2 a.m. candle, 30-minute candle, close on GBP USD bearish, while on Euro USD we have a bullish candle. You can see that. So that is a PSB, and this in itself is a confirmation that price can expand lower, right? But the only thing I do not like about this is that GBP USD hasn't switched strength, because as GBP USD is traded into this key level first, I wanted to switch strength to become the weaker asset, giving room for Euro USD to catch up into that same level. But since that is not happening, and we know that DXY is going to potentially trade to that high and it hasn't done that, there is room or hope that Euro USD will trade alongside with DXY into that high. So while it is doing that, GBP USD might just be consolidating also or expanding lower to catch up to this low here. You see that? We still have this low here, but I don't expect it to be reached to there, but it can also expand towards it, while Euro USD and DXY is expanding to catch up to this low that GBP USD has already traded to. You understand? So we do have a CSD on the 5-minute, which I can take a trade from there right away, but I want to see if we get a retracement back into this other block. And if we do, then I want to get filled in there to trade to this low. I'll put my TP here, but I'll close the position once DXY hit this high. Let me see if I'll get filled in with a limit order. I know this is really kind of confusing for anyone watching new who doesn't fully understand the GxT model. This is really complicated, but we'll see if we get it. Okay, we do have a fair value gap now. If we form a fair value gap, then I want to take my limit order to that fair value gap right here. Yeah, we just got tapped in. So let's see what will happen. Remember, once DXY hit that high, I'm going to close the position on Euro USD. Why is that? Because Euro USD is the weaker pair in this triad. You understand? We can get a deeper retracement back higher on Euro USD faster than we can get on GBP USD or DXY. So I'm keeping a close eye on DXY, and now we just hit that high. So I'm going to get out of this position. First, we check how many hours we have. So that is potentially a 2-hour trade. So I'm going to exit this position. So that is it. I don't care if Euro USD catch up to this low anymore, but I'm just more careful as DXY and GBP USD has traded to that. DXY has traded to that high and GBP USD has traded to this low. Price can go into a new phase. It can either be a consolidation or a retracement, and if any of that is happening, I do not want to be in the market at that time. So that is why I need to close it. I have closed this position. So let's see what happened. You see that? So after DXY hit that position, we hit that high. What are we seeing now? We are getting a new phase of price. We are retracing back. So if we are still in the market right now, we're getting cooked, right? So that is it for the London. Let me see if we get something here. Okay, we have just 5 minutes left. Okay, so the 2 a.m. for our candle has just closed, so we're opening now the New York AM session, right? So, and with the 6 a.m. candle, I'm only interested in trading from 7 a.m. till 11 or 12. Yeah, let's say 11:30 or 12. After 11, I'm no longer interested in taking any trade, right? So I want to be in the market or be positioned in the market before this time window. So right now, prior to this 5 a.m. candle, what do we have? Just you get confused, right? On this feed, which is DSY, this candle is opening at 6 a.m. while on this feed, which we have Euro GBP USD and Euro USD, it is opening at 5 a.m. So this feed is opening same like the future market, right? It opens at 6 in the London 2200 and the London candle opens at 2 a.m. while on this feed the London candle opens at 1 a.m. and the Asia session open at 2100, not 2200, as you can see here. And the daily candle opened at 1800, but here it opens at 1700. So but that doesn't really make any difference here, as we can still flow around with it, so no issue with that. So here, what can you see? Has the daily range been exhausted? Not actually, but I can just see that we do not have any open draw on the GBP USD that we can think that we can trade to today. But on Euro USD, we still have this draw on liquidity open, which is this low, and on DXY we still have this high, right? And remember, we have traded to that key level on GBP USD. We traded to that level on Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, we traded into that low on Wednesday. And today is Thursday. So I want to see this asset, which is DXY in Euro USD, catch up to this low, while DXY catch up to this high. And if that is going to happen, I want to see GBP USD switch strength to become the weaker pair, while this asset switch strength to become stronger in order to catch up to this low, while this catch up to that high. You understand? So we already have the 2 a.m. candle traded, and we didn't take this low, and on this asset we did take that high. So, and why on GBP USD we took this low? So we have an SMT here, You can see that we do have an SMT here, but does this SMT really matters? Because this SMT now we having like equal highs here. You see how relatively close this high is to this high, right? You can see that this high is really close, approximately close. So I want to see this high, this SMT, be disrespected, and we trade to this high. So let's see if there is any room for that to happen. So we have in the 5 a.m. candle open right now, and can drop down to the 1 hour time frame. Take this off. Let's see. Looking at it right here. So I'm going to fast forward this to 7 a.m. and see what we have then prior to 7 a.m. So we have the 5, the 6 a.m. candle. Prior to 7 a.m., what can you see? We can see that the 5 a.m. candle is a PSP. And does that PSP form from a key level? To support this idea higher, and it is a strength switch PSP. You can see that GBP USD here is a weaker pair, right? Now the PSP that has formed as a bullish PSP here, indicating strength switch, while Euro USD, which is strong in respect of this SMT, has formed a bearish PSP indicating weakness. So we have like a strength switch here, which is something I'd like to see if we are going to respect the SMT and trade higher. So I want this as it to momentarily switch strength and become stronger. But do not forget our initial bias for the week. We are trading bearish, but just I don't think this we're going to trade into this low on this week. So since the weekly candle has already expanded and traded into this relevant swing, I am anticipating perhaps a retracement or a consolidation, so price can go into a new phase at this point. So we can either consolidate or we retrace. So with that in mind, I'm looking at the 5 a.m. candle. If this SMT should hold, then price can trade to this high or potentially this high. So if it should hold, I'm looking at price to trade into this low while it's trading to this high, or this asset trade to this high, right? So and we know that the 5 a.m. candle is a strength switch PSP. Do not forget that. To be honest, I'm not happy with what I see. I'll demand more from price. And we can see that after the PSP formed, we have like a reversal signature here. You can see that expansion met with expansion. That is a reversal signature. But while on this asset, we are not showing any sign of reversal from here to trade to this high. So if that's not happening, that means price can take this low, then reverse off of it. So I would like to see something like this, then trade higher if we are gonna respect that. Let's see if that's gonna happen. Okay, we've taken that low. So if we CSD this candle, then we can be confident to anticipate a bullish price into this high, right? So now we get a CSD. So let's check if that CSD is confirmed with by an SMT. Do we have any SMT there? There's basically no SMT there. So we'll see just depending on this PSB for price to trade to this high, right? That is what we currently have as a PD array. It is a low probability trade, to be honest. This day is really a mess, but whatever, I'm gonna stick with it. So I'm gonna put my stop loss right here and take it. If it is a win, let us win. If it is a loss, we take the loss home, bruh. Not gonna lie, it's a very tough period, man. This price action is really hard to navigate on this day, but it is what it is, bro. So I'll be honest, once we hit this high, I'd love to take some partial out because anything can happen, to be honest. Anything can happen. So since I didn't keep that in mind, I'm gonna take that half position there and I'm moving my stop loss to break even. What do we have? Oops. Looks like we're getting cooked. It looks like we're getting cooked, bro. Nah, we're not taking profit today. This day is full of BS, bro. Yeah, we're not taking profit today, man. But whatever, we had partial out, right? So we close at break even. And as I did mention, this PA today is really crazy on this day. But whatever, we go to the next day. So I'm gonna skip to London. And this is Friday. So we've had Monday open, trade higher. Tuesday put in the high of the week. Wednesday expand lower. Thursday expand lower, and Friday. So I want to see Friday at least cup of the week from this low, right? I want to see Friday trade into this low. That will make a lot of sense to me. If that's not happening, then Friday might potentially trade back into this fair value gap. But I'll be more happy if we trade to this low and DXY trade to this high. So that's what I have in mind, bro. So prior to London, do we have anything relevant? Have we traded into anything relevant in Asia? To be honest, we have this fair value gap that we form an SMT from at a 6 a.m. candle. You can see that. I think that is the only relevant thing we have. Goodness. Really a crazy PA on this day, man, to be honest. And we have an SMT here. We have an SMT here. See that? An SMT here. So after the XMT at 1800 or 1700, we can see that the 2100 candle expanded lower. So if 2100 expanded away from the SMT, what does that mean? That means 2 a.m. can potentially reach for this low, which is our draw on liquidity. And here we're looking at this low. And what can you notice is something very significant here. You can see that Euro USD has switched strength now to become the weaker asset in order to catch up to this low. How is that? Look at this low. We have traded on this to this low already with this 2am candle, but why on GBP USD, which was initially the stronger asset, it is now the weaker asset because it's still struggling to reach this low. So that is what I want to see, and it makes actually good sense right now. So I'm dropping down the 1 hour time frame to see if we can identify any key level to trade away from into this level, right? We have this fair value gap here, and we have the same fair value gap here. We do have the same fair value gap here. Keep this SMT thing here. So I want to see price, this 2M candle, open, trade into this fair value gap, then put in a high there, then trade lower into this drawn liquidity. That's what I'm looking at. But if you look keenly, you'll see that that 1 AM candle has a 30-minute PSP within it, and which is a continuation PSP, and after it formed, we had an expansion candle, which is a 1:30 AM candle. So, but I'm not paying attention to this. I just want to see if we can expand back here. But if we don't get expansion, that means we are respecting this PSP that has already formed here. Okay, great. We get a retracement back into the fair value gap. So let's see if we can get an SMT. I do want to see an SMT with a key level, right? I don't just want price to trade back into the fair value gap. I want it to trade there, then form an SMT or a PSP in that key level before I can look to take a trade. Do we have any SMT? Absolutely not. Okay. Looking at how things are moving right now, reaching this low might be like a mission impossible today. We'll see how it goes. But at this point, I'm no longer interested in trading this 2 AM candle into this low. Why? Because the wick has become too large now. We have a large wick I don't want to participate in, but there is something very important that we should know. We have a two-stage SMT right now. Why is that? Let me show you. You remember this asset, this low here, you can see that this low, we have traded to this low, into this low on GBP USD, while on Euro USD we did not trade into that low. Then this low, this current low, now we have traded into it on Euro USD, but while on GBP USD we haven't traded into that low. So what can you see? It is a strength switch. This asset that was once stronger, has weaker, has now become stronger. You can see that. And this asset that was once stronger has become weaker. You understand that, right? So this can be a trigger for price to trade into this high or a reversal. Remember, going into this Friday, we have two options. Either Friday trade into this low, or we retrace back into this fair value gap. So if we are getting a two-stage SMT in the form of strength switch, that means Friday is going to trade into this daily fair value gap. So that is what I'm looking at right now. So I'm no longer looking for sell trade for a trade setup to trade lower. I'm now looking for a setup to trade higher into this buy side liquidity, and on DXY into this sell side liquidity here. You can see that. So that is what I have in mind now. So I'm dropping down the 1 hour. What do we have? We have a reversal, which is a strength switch, followed by a PSP. You can see this 3 AM candle is a PSB. We close bullish on Euro USD, and on GBP USD we close bearish. So it is a PSB. Yes, it is a continuation PSB. So let's see if it is going to deliver price to this high. For CSD, I would like to see price close above the series of down close candle if we are going to trade into that high. So let's see if that's going to happen. We get that on GBP USD. Can you see that? We get it on GBP USD, and we have this low hanging fruit here. We're already at 4 a.m. candle, so we have just 40 minutes left for this candle to close. 40 minutes, I don't think this candle is enough time for this candle to deliver into this high, so I'm just gonna let this slide and wait for the 5 a.m. candle to open. Yes, as you can see, we did not deliver into that high, so I'm gonna look forward to trade the 7 a.m. candle into this high. We have the 5 a.m. Didn't do anything that I like. And remember, we still have this fair value gap hanging here, which I would like to see price trade into, form an SMT in order to deliver to the upside. So let's see if the 6 a.m. candle is going to do that, or the 7 a.m. candle. Yes, we have that at 6. The 6 a.m. candle traded into that fair value gap, as you can see. And we have an SMT, which is exactly what I like to see. We have an SMT with that fair value gap. We have an SMT there. We can go ahead and take a trade, but I'm not interested in that one. What can you notice about this SMT here? It is a strength switch SMT. Why? Because this asset is weak, right? This is a weaker asset, and this is a stronger asset. You can see that. But the 6 a.m. candle closes bullish here on this pair, while on this pair that is a weaker asset, the candle 6 a.m. candle the 6 a.m. candle on this asset that is weaker close bearish, while the 6 a.m. candle on this asset, I don't know why I'm unable to put this together. The 6 a.m. candle on this asset that is a stronger asset closes bearish. You can see that. While on this asset, the 6 a.m. candle, which is the weaker asset, closes bullish. So we get like a strength switch showing this asset is stronger, but with the SMT showing that it is weaker. So it's like a strength switch PSB with an SMT, right? So this is highly probable we can get a trade from here, and we'll be very much guaranteed that price is going to deliver to the upside. So with this, I can be a little bit confident to go into the trade without waiting for 7 a.m. right? So let's see if that's going to happen. Do we have a reversal signature? Oh my goodness. But if you're still having problems with this, like strength switch, let me know in the comment section, right? Like I said, anything you feel like you still want to catch up on, let me know in the comment section. I'll do my very best to put it all together for you in depth in the video. So I'm just gonna take that here. Let's see if that's gonna work out. I don't like this asset kind of BS around like this, but we're good. We're good on this asset, to be honest. We're good. Don't forget, this is the initial like target for the day. But if we get here, I'm going to take partials, right? So let's see if that's going to be offered. Okay. I think I can move my stop to break even right now. See if we're gonna deliver to that high. My goodness, I think at this point I'm getting out, because if we get here CSD, this candle, it is from a fair value gap. You can see that. So this is a high resistance low, which shouldn't be broken if we're gonna deliver to the upside, right? So my stop will certainly be here. That is prior to 8:30. Do we still have enough time for the candle to trade there? To be honest, we're really too close to that high. Should I take profit there? It is what it is. I'm closing it. Oh shit. Yeah, so it is what it is, baby. Yeah, we got a 2 hour there, and in my opinion, it was a good trade. And just to go over it once more, what did we have? We have price traded into the key level from a strength switch, right? The 4 hour. We had a strength switch here, giving room for us to believe that price can reach back into this high, right? So we dropped down on the 1 hour time frame, identified a key level within the previous 4 hour candle, which was a fair value gap, right? And within that fair value gap, we had an SMT followed by a PSP, which is a strength switch PSP, and that gave us much it gave us more confidence to believe that price is going to deliver to the upside. So I dropped down the 3-minute time frame and look for a reversal signature, which I got, and I got my position entry, got filled in, and managed a position. Why did I believe that price shouldn't go below this level? Why? Because we had expansion and created a fair value gap. We retraced into that fair value gap and close above the series, the down close candle that retraces back into that fair value gap. So this swing point now becomes a high resistance liquidity. If price is going to deliver to this high, it shouldn't come back to this high resistance liquidity. So if we are going to CSD this high resistance liquidity, that means we are getting a reversal from this point without reaching this buy side liquidity. And this day actually deliver in a very weird manner, because we are leaving buy side untouched. We are leaving these highs untouched. We shouldn't be like that. At least if we're gonna trade lower, we should manipulate this high, then trade lower. But that didn't happen. Well, it is the market. You can't tell it what to do. Some days it's gonna be very good. Some days it's gonna be as crazy as you cannot even imagine. So it do happen. And sadly, my PC is almost gonna go off. I'm actually recording this on my laptop, and I'll be sad to tell you guys that I will end the video here, but I would like to give you like I don't know, a clue of what we are actually doing here, right? Because I know it can be complicated for someone just watching me doing these things and without really understanding it. First, I identify a key point. It can be a swing point or it can be a fair value gap, whatever, a relevant key level, right? If I'm going to trade a reversal from this relevant swing key level, we have as asset 1, we have asset 2, then we have asset 3. We are trading 3 pairs, right? We are trading GBP USD, Euro USD, and GXY. Let's say Euro USD trade into that key level first, and I want price to reverse from this key level. You trade into this key level first. That means we are having, maybe before, prior to that, we had like a high here. So there is a high, right? A swing high. This is the initial swing high. And this is the initial swing high. You can see that. So that means we're having what? An SMT with this high here and an SMT with this current high, because this asset has traded into that key level, but this asset and this asset hasn't traded to that key level. So we have an SMT. Now, once this SMT formed, I want to see a strength switch. I want this asset that traded into this key level first to momentarily switch strength and become weaker, which means I want to see another high form here, like this, lower with an SMT here, while this asset switch strength to become stronger. So we have like a 2-stage SMT to trade lower, right? And this asset can stay weak, then we trade lower. But what I am interested in is to see the stronger asset momentarily switch strength to become weaker in order to reverse from this key level. And what if I'm going to trade continuation and one asset trade into this high first, and I want all of this asset to trade into this high, right? And one asset has already traded into that high. Then I want this asset to momentarily switch strength and become the weaker asset, because if it trade into this asset, into this high first, that means this asset is strong, right? But I want it to switch strength to become weak, so this asset or the asset to become strong to catch up to this level. And where does that strength switch happen? Within the fair value gap. We will have a fair value gap, so I want this asset to trade into that fair value gap, while this other asset failed to reach that fair value gap and just expand higher. So we can have this, something like this. We fail to reach that fair value gap and just expand higher. Why this asset trade into that fair value gap before making its way higher. So we will have like an SMT like this. You can see that. So we will have an SMT here and an SMT here and SMT there. So that is basically it. But if you still don't understand this, just let me know in the comment section and I'll make a video explaining this in depth. And without any further ado, I will do my fucking best to make sure everything comes out as clean as it will be for you to understand and apply them. And I really do appreciate those of you who've made it to this point watching this video. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please go ahead and subscribe and share the video so we can reach a reasonable amount on this channel. Before we go, let me show you our performance here. Okay, we kind of took more trades and we had raised it to 7 trades and win rate 85%. So that's it for today. See you, man.